No, I got you.
Got it.
How are you?
Good team. All right. Yep, so green is here. Okay. Seems like we're close to being ready here. Is everybody good? Camera-wise? Anybody taking it live? All right. My name's Sean Franks. I'm the spokesman for the Bring Our Families Home campaign, and thank you all for coming today. As you see behind me, there's a pretty cool mural featuring the faces of 15 Americans who either wrongfully detained or held hostage abroad. So we're going to have the Texas family speak. We're going to hear from two wonderful members of Congress. But first, Neda Shargi, our chair, will say a few words.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, and thank you for spending your 4th of July with us here today. My name is Neda Shargi. I am first the sister of Ahmad Shargi, who's been wrongfully detained in Iran since 2018. I'm also the chair of the Bring Our Families Home campaign. And let me tell you just a little bit about our campaign. The Bring Our Families Home campaign is a family-led campaign that is made up of the mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, spouses, and children of Americans who are currently held hostage or are wrongfully detained abroad for no reason other than being American. Our campaign urges President Biden to meet with our families and to secure the release of our loved ones using all available tools. According to the James W. Foley Legacy Foundation, there are currently 59 publicly known cases of Americans wrongfully detained or hostaged abroad. 15 of these Americans are in our campaign and on the wall you see behind me. The fact that we are unveiling this mural on Independence Day is very intentional. All of these are men whose freedom has been taken away from them because they are American. And the fact that we are unveiling this mural here in Houston is also very intentional. 7 of the 15 Americans on this wall are from Texas, and 3 are from here, Houston. I'd like to address President Biden. President Biden, we are tired, we are scared, we are angry. We want our innocent loved ones home. They don't deserve this. Being American is not a crime. They deserve to have their country stand up for them and to bring them home. Before I finish, I'd like to just read the names of these 15 Americans on this mural, where they are from, and where they are being held. It's important that we know their names and that we repeat them. From left to right, Paul Whelan, resident of Michigan, wrongfully detained in Russia since 2018. Kai Li, resident of New York, wrongfully detained in China since 2016. My brother, Ahmad Shargi, resident of Washington, D.C., wrongfully detained in Iran since 2018. Murad Tahbaz, resident of Connecticut, wrongfully detained in Iran since 2018. David Lin, resident of California, wrongfully detained in China since 2006. Luke Denman, resident of Texas, right here in Houston, wrongfully detained in Venezuela since 2020. Mural resident of Texas, wrongfully detained in Venezuela since 2022. Mark Swedan, resident of Texas, wrongfully detained in China since 2012. Austin Tice, resident of Texas, from right here in Houston, wrongfully detained in Syria since 2012. Zach Shaheen, resident of Texas, from Houston, wrongfully detained in the United Arab Emirates since 2008. Aaron Berry, resident of Texas, wrongfully detained in Venezuela since 2020. Majd Kamelmaz, resident of Texas, wrongfully detained in Syria since 2017. Shahab Dalili, resident of Virginia, wrongfully detained in Iran since 2016. Siamak Namazi, resident of Maryland, wrongfully detained in Iran since 2015. And on the end is Avon Hernandez, resident of California, wrongfully detained in Venezuela since 2022. President Biden and his administration have repeatedly promised our families that the release of our loved ones is a top priority. It does not feel that way to us. Collectively, our loved ones, represented on this wall, have spent 103 years perishing in foreign prisons for no reason other than being American. I will pass it back to John to continue the program.
Okay, next up on our program, I want to introduce one of our stalwarts in Congress, Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee of Houston, who has been a champion of this issue for as long as I've been working on it, since about 2014 at least. Yeah.
Thank you so very much. Bring our American hostages home. Bring them now. I want Dr. Peter Hortez to come. Maybe you know his relationship. Just to stand, just come by. Dr. Hortez is one of the outstanding assets of America, genius in research, and he has an affiliation with your brother.
Well,
with
Dr. Hotez was my advisor in grad school for my master.
Yes.
Yeah.
Back in the place to see me.
And when the sister calls, he comes. I'm honored to have him here. I'm delighted to be here with my colleague, Congressman Green. And I'm more importantly delighted to be here with all of these patriots, families, fighters, and we are going to win. Our hostages must come home now. 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 Let me join with these families on this day of freedom. This is a day that you don't have things that are matching. You make sure you have your red, white, and blue. Because this is a day of freedom and democracy. It is a day that we can show to the world who we are. When I came into this, I will assure you that I've never been happier, and I know that sounds strange, to meet these outstanding, unbelievably strong fighters for democracy, the families of American hostages. We will not accept American kidnapping. We will not accept countries stepping on the flag of the United States of America. We will not accept that. So I know to the Trevor Reed family in Texas how long they fought and how you supported them, and Trevor Reed is home. But it has been a dangerous journey for him. We thank you for fighting with me for Brittany Griner. And Brittany Griner is home, as treacherous a journey as it is. And we thank you for the fighting of those who made it home, who are Trevor Reed and Danny Finster and Bakur Namazi, the Sitco Six, Aman Khan, Matthew John Heath, Mark Fredericks, Judge Alberto Fernandez, but all of them are still fighting for others to come home as well. Their coming home does not end our fight, but it gives us encouragement that if they can come home, everybody else must come home. And I do want to acknowledge, and I know that the President cares, and I will join in encouraging President Biden, as he has done for other families, to meet with the families. That will be most potent and powerful. I believe that will be, and I believe in his heart he will do it. And I thank Secretary Blinken for establishing the office with Ambassador Carstens. I've never seen a more committed human being who has dug deep into his soul to realize it is not a job for him. It is not even a profession or a career. It is a calling, and he will go to anywhere. In fact, I said to him, take me with you. I have a particular eagle eye to get folk to let people out. I want to be right there, and I'm going to go on one of those, I won't call them what they are, to bring our heroes and sheroes out. So I call the names. Paul Whalen, I've gotten to know his sister very well. Kylie, Imad Shaghi, what can you say about his sister right here, who is a patriot, unending in her fight? No gun is in her hand, but it is the fight and the spear of democracy is in your hand. Let me shake your hand and thank you, my dear sister. Thank you. Murad Tabaz, David Lynn, Luke Denham. Is the family here? Come on down. Luke Denham right here in Texas. Mark Swiden. Is Gerald Kennemore's family here?
Unfortunately, no.
No. Gerald Kennemore. Are you here?
Nope.
Not
All right. Mark Swiden.
Not here.
Not
All right. Well, come on, Luke Denham's family. Come on down.
She's right here.
Come on down. Yeah, all right. Austin Tice. And I know that one of them are on a hunger strike right now. Right now on a hunger strike. Zach Shayan.
Yeah.
Come on down. Iran Berry. Come on, move over. Kind of thought you would stand on the hill. All right. Majad Kalamez. All right. Hold yourself up. Let them see you. Come down, Mom. Sister. Come on down, sister. All right. There you are. Okay. And Shahab Dalili.
Not here.
But they are here in spirit, and they are reflected here. And I think it is important to know, I mentioned Brittany Griner and Philip Walton, but I do want to add to this conversation. This gentleman right here, come this way. This is Safi. This is an Afghan soldier who was held and had to escape from Afghanistan. But the threat of death in every undercover way that he could. This is a soldier that I was able to bring home, because I call this home, who fought alongside of the Allies in the Afghan war. And I wanted him to come, and he wanted to come because freedom is so sweet that he wanted to be able, with his brother Sam, who also helped the Allies, wanted to come and stand and be part of the fight as he seeks to become a full American citizen. But I wanted him to be here, and I wanted to put in his mind and heart that he will help us fight to bring these hostages home. Because you were held, and you were able to escape as a soldier all the way down through South America and to our border to be able to come for freedom on this day. I want to thank you for standing alongside our allies. Now I've given you another fight. You must fight for these hostages to come home, because you can tell the story. Can you?
Yes.
Yes. His English is yes. I know I stand alongside my friend and colleague Al Green. He is a civil rights fighter. I'm glad to be standing by him. But if I can conclude my remarks, let me be very clear that wherever I go in the country or around the world, you have now bitten me. Boy, that's a terrible thing to say, but it's true. I've got the bite of freedom for all of these hostages. I encourage our team in Washington. I'm on the phone with them on a regular basis. Where are they? What's going on? Can we go? What are they saying? Who can we negotiate with effectively? Not being the underdogs. We are the big dog of democracy, the big dog of freedom. We can fight for our hostages with dignity. We don't need to bow our heads, and we will not. And so I know this city, Houston, is a very enriched, diverse city. People from all over the world, they have had experiences of tragedy just to get here to the United States of America. They've done all that they could to ensure that that is the case. As the war in Ukraine is fought, children are being captured and held hostage or taken by Russia. This dastardly war. Families around the world are experiencing the loss of loved ones. Why can't we be the shining star of recapturing or taking our loved ones back and bringing these families love and the ability to hug their loved one more time? Bring them home to do that. And I might add that the human rights abuses that these countries are engaged in, the United Nations must join us as an ally in holding these countries responsible for using hostage kidnapping as a tool for international terror. And they must stand against it. And as we come together, let me conclude on this day of freedom that we love this nation. That's why we're standing here. We wish her a wonderful birthday and a happy Independence Day. We know that that independence was fought with blood that was shed and continues to be fought with the blood of soldiers. Why on this day I honor soldiers, because I know that they shed their blood and they don't care whether I am a Republican or a Democrat. They don't care what racial or ethnic or religious background I am. They put on the uniform unselfishly and fought the wars of this nation. And we owe them a debt of respect by indicating that as they fight for us, that we will not yield to our fellow Americans being taken as hostages as a way of life. So join me today, both in prayer and petition, to say to this nation that we will pray in our own way, but we will never stop petitioning. We will never stop fighting. We can't. We're Americans under the red, white, and blue. That's never been our theme of giving in or giving out or giving up. Our theme has always been a fight for justice, equality, and opportunity, a fight for freedom and democracy. I leave this podium as a fighter for freedom and democracy, joining with these families and making the commitment that we won't give up or give in or give out. We will bring their loved ones, America's loved ones, home. Might I mention Simon Namazi and Elvin Ivan Hernandez. They were also on the list of this mural. We are grateful to them and their families, and we are patriots who are in the fight and will never give up. God bless all of you. God bless the United States of America.
Thank you, Congresswoman Jackson Lee, and I'm now honored to introduce a great civil rights leader, Congressman Al Green, also of Houston, Texas, who represents Austin Vice.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. Would you kindly join me in giving Jonathan an expression of appreciation? Please do so. And if you would you give Nita an expression of appreciation for the outstanding job that she has done? And let's remember that, yes, this is Freedom Day, but freedom is not free, and there may be one or two among us who are persons who are willing to make the ultimate sacrifice so that we would have the opportunity to stand here today in the greatest country in the world, the United States of America. There may be a veteran among us. If you are a veteran, or if you're the family member of a veteran, would you raise your hand, please, so that we may see you? Give them an expression of love and appreciation. These are the people who make the difference. Freedom is not free. If freedom were free, Patrick Henry never would have professed, give me liberty or give me death. If freedom were free, there would be no Trail of Tears, no Boston Massacre, no Holocaust years. Freedom is not free. My freedom relies on you. Your freedom depends on me. Freedom is not free, never has been, never will be, but we will get our people home. They belong to us. Let's stand together. Let's pledge together that today we will never stop fighting for them. Will we stand with them and for them until they are brought home? Yes. Will you take your petition all the way to the President of the United States of America? Yes. Are we going to unite, for them to make sure that they are appreciated just as much away as they are right here in this country. And it's time to bring them home. They belong to us. Let's bring them home now. Freedom is not free.
Today would be better.
Immediately, if not sooner, would be better. Let me say this, dear friends, before I continue with a certain aspect of my message. There should be a certain amount of solemnity and dignity associated with today, especially as it relates to these families. So I'm going to ask that all of you join hands now for just a moment. Please touch someone's hand for just a moment of silence. If you would, hold hands. Ms. Mark and Deborah, would you come over, please? Mark and Deborah are persons that have become family members of mine. Come on over, please. One on each side, if you don't mind. These are my family members now. Austin belongs to us, and we want him back. But if you would, please, join me for just a moment of meditation for some, a moment for others to reflect. But I'm going to say just a few words, if I may, if you will allow. Most gracious Creator, we know you by many names, but we also know that by any name you are the creator of all that was, is, and ever shall be. And we who have assembled as friends and as family members of persons who have been taken away from us, we who have assembled, we ask today that we receive your intercession. We ask for the help that only you can give, the peace that they need for the many holidays that they've been separated from their loved ones, for the Mother's Days that were missed, the Father's Days, the birthdays, all of the days that they have lost. We want them home so that they may appreciate and celebrate and commemorate together. And we're asking you to cleanse the hearts of those who hold them as hostages. Give them the will and understanding that they mean no harm, that they were there, many of them, to be of assistance. And we ask that you would give them the strength and the will to release each and every one of them. We ask that you would cleanse our hearts so that we will not have hate but hope, so that we would understand that there is a means and a methodology by which we can accomplish our goal, and that is to continue to peacefully protest, to continue to demand that they be released. You have given us the strength to be here today. Give us the strength to continue this journey. We ask all of this in the many names that we know, and we thank you.
Thank you.
Now, friends, Dr. King reminded us that life is an inescapable network of mutuality, tied to a single garment of destiny. What impacts one directly impacts all indirectly. This is why we are here today. Those of us who are not directly impacted, I didn't know Mark before this horrible incident occurred, but now that I know him, I understand how this impacts his family, and it has impacted me as well. I want to see him and all of the family members receive their loved ones home. But I know his story. I know how he was there on a mission of mercy. I know how he served in the military of the United States of America. I know how he was there for McClatchy to bring back news of what was happening in Syria and places in that region. I know why he was there, and I know that all of these persons who are being held hostage have similar stories, and we want all of them to have more than stories. We want their lives to mean something to the people who hold the power to help them come home. Mr. President, I beg that you do all that you can. Mr. Secretary of State, do all that you can. Now is the time to act. We want your help today. Bring them home now. this end, I want to pledge to all of the families. I will write the president a letter. I will make it perspicuously clear that I intend to continue to ask that they come home. I'm going to make it clear to the president that we have to do more. I believe he's a good man with a good heart, but we have to do more. We can never do enough until we get them home. Only then can we say that we've done enough. So I will write the president a letter. I will write the Secretary of State a letter. I will ask colleagues to sign on to these letters. I believe that we have at least one who's going to sign on because she's standing here today. I am going to do all that I can because life is this inescapable network of mutuality, and it impacts me knowing that they are being held hostage. So today, I'm honored to present something to the Bring Our Families Home network that has been established. I believe that you ought to be recognized for what you have done. So on behalf of the Congress of the United States of America, I have a certificate of special congressional recognition that I'd like to present. And I present this recognition to you for what you have done, are doing, and will do to bring our families home. Let us now give them an expression of appreciation as I present the certificate of special congressional recognition. Now, friends, let me pass that to you and close with this. This is a day for God to bless America. And I want God to start by blessing me because I said Mark, I should have said Austin. So God forgive me and God bless me, please. They're family. When I see one, I see the other. So I ask blessings. But this is a day for us to ask for the many blessings. I love my country. It means something to me to be an American. But it also will mean something to me to know that we have brought these family members home. But today, because we love the country, and because, friends, this is not about the country as much as it is about those who have the power to make the difference. There are many things in this country that I'd like to change, but I still love it. So I'm going to ask you to join me so that those who are watching will understand that we are here as Americans asking that other Americans be freed, that they be brought home. So with that, I am going to lead you and I'm going to ask you to join me. Let us now join together because we love the country. We want to bring them home. We want them to be blessed. Let's ask for the blessings on our country. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Thank you, everybody. God bless you. God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Beautiful. We will now hear from the families. I know that is Jonathan's work, which somewhere around, coming here. You're going to do it. We're going to hear from the families. I'm so honored to have Congressman Green's fight standing alongside of us because that is the fight that we need to have to be able to join those of us around the nation who have been fighting and who have gotten and keep working to get our kidnapped Americans home. And so let me join him in two things. One, to directly ask the President for a meeting with members of Congress who are advocating not only for their constituents, but for those families who are not even here, to lay the groundwork for the families to come and to be able to meet with a compassionate nation. America's compassionate, is it not?
Yes.
America's compassionate, is it not?
Yes.
And America cares and loves for its fellow citizens and all. And with that in mind, let us make sure that we are fighting every day for you to be recognized as being loved by America. And so I want to, as well, add to the recognition. Nada, if you would come on this side, and also take this from my office, Bring Our Families Home campaign on the occasion of the Mural unveiling ceremony. But what I wanted to be able to say is that you've raised the mission of freedom, and you've raised the awareness. This is not for us standing here. It's for each and every American to walk today in freedom and say, you know what? When I walk for my soldiers, men and women in military, but I walk for those held away from their loved ones who are Americans who did nothing wrong but have the red, white, and blue around them. That's all they had. That's a great thing. How dare we take them for that reason? And so it indicates that we thank you through media, murals and marches, what you've done, and standing in front of the White House. And I know families have stood in front of the White House. Indeed, your dedication and efforts to support the families of those who were unjustly detained, kidnapped, and to raise awareness are most deserving of the commendation, respect, and admiration of the United States Congress. And then I want to make sure that these flowers to you represent our hostages, represent our families, and represent our love for you. As they say, they're still standing even in the heat. So take them in the spirit that they are given, and take them in the spirit that these green flowers held on for you, and we're going to hold on for our hostages until they come home. And thank you so very much. Until they come home. Somebody should be shouting, until they come home. 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 Families are coming now, and we honor them as they come. John? And Jonathan?
We actually have never introduced the next one.
No, I'm just saying thank you.
Thank you.
Al, my friend, said thank you. Let me thank you 1,000 times. He's right. Thank you so very much.
You know, I got my start in my career from you.
That's right. You're my brother.
Holding up your side.
Yeah, holding it up, and we love you dearly. Thank you, Jonathan, for the work that you are doing. God bless.
Thank you so much. On behalf of the Bring Our Families Home campaign, Congressman Sheila Jackson Lee, Congressman Al Green, we don't have much to give you. We don't have much to give you, but we have our gratitude, you have our love, and we have t-shirts on behalf of the Bring Our Families Home campaign. Please remember us. And please, one of the things that we've been begging for is for the President to meet with our families. Your voices are loud, they're clear, they're well respected. Please ask him to meet with our families. It's very important to us. And now we're going to hear from the families from Texas, and I'd like to introduce the family of Austin Tice. The whole family to come to the podium, please. Thank you.
First of all, I want to thank Bring Our Families Home for everything they've done to make this mural happen. I'm really proud to have Austin and other detainees represented in our home city. I've spent a lot of time thinking about what I wanted to say this morning about Austin. There are many facts that I can share about him. He's a son, a brother to 6 siblings, uncle, Marine Corps captain, Georgetown graduate, Eagle Scout, Texan. I could elaborate on the many awards for the important work that he did in Syria for the short period of time he was there before he was taken captive. But the bottom line for me is just, I really, really miss him. The expanse of almost 11 years of missing someone is a hard thing to truly impress upon people that ask. The vastness of what that time feels like is indescribable. I remember when we first found out that Austin was missing, that first 6 weeks felt like a lifetime. I look back now and think, wow, we really had no idea the road that was ahead. These past 11 years, my family has been through hell and high water, literally, thank you, Harvey, but also through so many joyous, momentous occasions. Weddings, graduations, the addition of 5 nieces and nephews for Austin. The thing about missing someone is it's not just about the grief. It's missing the joy. It's time, beyond time, for the family to be whole again. It's time for Austin to come home. May it be soon. Thank you.
Thank you. And I think next we'll ask the family of Dr. Maj Kamalmaz to come down and say a few words.
I'm Samara Hamwi. This is my brother, Majd Kamalmaz. If I stand here 2-3 years, I can explain to you about my brother. He's done a lot of good, just like every other person standing here for their loved one. I would please, I beg President Biden to pay attention to us and bring our loved ones home. I don't want just my brother. I want everyone's brother, father, son, nephew. Please, we urge you. We urge you to take this matter seriously more than you have before. We need our loved ones home. My brother's done so much good. He does not deserve to be in Syrian prisons, and I'm sure no other prisoner held against his will is either in these countries. Our loved ones need us, and they need you, President Biden. They need you, Ms. Kamala Harris. Please come to our aid and bring our loved ones home. I thank you from the bottom of my heart, and today is Freedom Day. I stand here so humble being an American and so proud of being who I am in this country, and I will do anything for my country, and I'm positive my brother would have done anything to serve his country, and so I'm sure everybody else. So please help us bring our loved ones home. God bless America, and God bless everybody that helped us out. Thank you so much.
Our next Texas family, I'd like to ask the family of Zach Shaheen to please step up.
I will be brief. I will give the sad story of Zach Shaheen, a seriously ill American citizen. He's been kidnapped, tortured, and wrongfully detained in our ally country, the UAE, in Dubai. He's been there for the last 15 years. Yes, 15. He's serving a life sentence of 50 years, 50, and he's seriously ill. He was in the hospital recently for 4 months. We appealed to the State Department, to Biden administration, all over the world, to the President of the UAE, we get silence, no response. I'm so happy, so is the family, that Congresswoman Sheila Jackson-Lee and Congressman Al Green is here. Strong lawmakers, we appeal to you and other lawmakers, please let President Biden